The Capelins Bakeries mile trial over the 1400 metres features boots and all back from that luckless run at Hastings, just not quickly away. Son of Maha, 260 and 112, 420 about Rangipo and Flying Sardine at $6. Thad, money, where's it going in race 5, Riccarton?
Yeah, Aidan, it makes me nervous when Son of Ma is not a losing result for us here in Petone. He was certainly a losing result for us last time when he won and duly saluted. He's currently a winning result for us. He does lead the multi-betting, which is some indication of perhaps favouritism, but yeah, there certainly hasn't been the push today for Son of Ma that we usually do see, and it's all with Rangipo. Obviously, we heard Greg O'Connor's comments speaking to Jake Bayliss, who said after that trial he'd win his next start. Well, everyone wants to be on around Rangipo, so clearly our worst result there. Bit of money for Flying Sardine out there at $6, but yes, Son of Ma fans, I'd suggest to tread carefully. The money trail is certainly suggesting Rangipo.
Okay, that's interesting. How did you assess it, Matt?
Look, I think Son of Mahir, as we spoke about on the show yesterday, Aidan, is the top selection in the race. But if we're looking at it from a betting perspective to try and make some money, I'm going to make one of the horses in this race as a part of the strategy today, the $100 spend. And I speak of Flying Sardine. She's got a very good record in these sort of races. She tries hard. Last time out, I thought she was very, very good, hitting the line well. That was, of course, in behind Son of Mahir. 56.5 kilos. She drops down to 55 today, which I think I see as a massive factor for her if she's able to follow the speed. Throw her through a multi today in Flying Sardine. I like Hoodier's wins a little later on, and I'll have Bubbles in the first to run placings. The other horse that I thought I might make a mention of is Volcano, who placed in this race last year under the same weight. Corey Campbell's riding well and does come up with barrier number 1. But the 2, 3 and 4, the leading chances, I think, Aidan. But from a money-making perspective, I feel as though Flying Sardine, maybe on the each way, you could do a little bit worse than the genuine daughter of Flying Spur, who's won 9 from 40, and 3 of those on the track. So the record stacks up for her. She's out of a Zabeel mare, and 1400 metres is a trip that she does like too. So Flying Sardine, I think, the place bet in the race, but Son of Mahir, top selection. He should be winning it, I think, on the way that he went last start, but we're trying to make money after all.
Good on you, Matt. Of course, Zakynthos stands at our sponsor of the Punters Lounge out there at Malachi Downs. Zakynthos Stakes is the feature from Riccarton this afternoon. The chosen one, 320 and 140 down from Cambridge. Murray Baker and Andrew Forsman prepare. Emily Margaret at 450. You're getting 655 shown. Of course, Lafroig, who goes around in this race for the Malachi team as well at $41. Where's the money going, Thad?
Look, we opened the chosen one and Emily Margaret quite a bit closer together than you currently see them, Aidan, 320 and 450 respectively. We were 370 and 390 were the chosen one and Emily Margaret. And obviously the chosen one, as you can see now, has come into $3.20, clearly best backed and heavily backed too, in saying that the chosen one. No money for Emily Margaret whatsoever. So obviously customers a little bit concerned about her credentials to run out a strong mile in the race. There was a lot of money for In a Twinkling. I was a little bit unlucky last start there, In a Twinkling, getting home okay when it got out. That just has started to dry up around that $7 mark for In a Twinkling. And one I need to mention down the page, it has shortened up half a point, is Casual Winks. The Ruakaka form coming to the fore here. The Rip Van Winkles are flying, Aidan. As she boomed home last time, she'll probably drop back again and see if she can run out that mile. And yeah, all indications are she will. So Casual Winks is a player in the race, but if anyone beats the chosen one here, we'll be pretty pleased.
Yeah, interesting to see that weight of money is there. I think the wide barrier draw might just count against Emily Margaret to some extent, Matt, and she will get back a little bit, according to our map, with the speed coming from Fire Show and Mahaka.
Yeah, totally agree with you there, Aidan, and I think that is a reflection of the market drift as well. The barrier draw is playing their part. Just love the way that the chosen one worked at both ends of his 1400 metre assignment at Waverley. He was jumped out of the gates, he was pushed forward, relaxed during the middle stages under Matthew Cameron, and then when he asked him to extend at about the 200 metres, gee, he showed a turn of foot. Give him 1-2 behind the saddle here, turning for home, and I feel as though the turn of foot showed that he'd come in here today and he'd be pretty hard to beat over the 1600 metres. And just like the way that he relaxed during the run too, he was just way too good for these horses. It's hard to stack up the form in behind him and where he rates, but I think out of the barrier draw, he's got enough early speed to punch forward. His trials were okay in behind Mongolian Marshall and also Razor back through August and September. It's the sort of race where I think we get The favourite for the 2,000 guineas will be sorted out after today, I think, and with the 3-year-old fillies too for the 1,000 guineas. We're getting to that point now where we're all starting to make our decision on who we're going to think is going to win the 2,000 guineas. I'm not sure, Aidan, where the Chosen One sits in the rankings in terms of the 2,000 guineas, but like I feel as though today on what he showed at Waverley, I'd be willing to back him today with Emily Margaret drawing out a little bit. A horse like In a Twinkling, who was okay last time in behind Beneficial, but the Beneficial form is very good, and Fire Show, who was second in the Guineas trial and third in the Barneswood Farm. He's a horse I'd be putting in the mix too. But in terms of win selections, the Chosen One, who will wear the Dennis colours today. Of course, we saw the Precious One doing good things here a couple of weeks ago. I think the colours might be saluting in our feature today at 27 minutes to 4.
Yep, we'll find out just where he stands in that 2,000 guineas pecking order, or at least a bit better a guide today. Let's move on to the other feature out of Riccarton. It is the Christchurch Casino Spring Classic Handicap, 420 about Swing Note in an even market here. Thad, where's the money?
Yeah, it's extremely even. Swing Note a little bit quiet, Aidan, fair to say, $4.20. Was a good win last time, but yeah, we have it. Oh, sorry, 2 starts ago down there at Wingatui, but yeah, didn't know what happened to it there at Timaru. A little bit quiet in the market. You'll see the $6 around the areas for the Baker Forsman team again. Winner of 3 of its last 5 and was getting boxed on well behind Andoyas. Suggest that $6 could be under a bit of pressure, and if you do like the areas, I would suggest perhaps having a little bit of a look at that $6. And then obviously Zentessa in this market as well. But a relatively light turnover race, and they're just not too sure about Swing Note. I'd suggest the each-way value as it stands is still the Aries.
Okay, interesting. Very tough race I found here. Matt, how'd you see it?
Yep, I totally agree with you, Aidan, and also Thad about this race. What I'd say to you at home is just stay out of this race until we see what the patterns are doing later on with the rail being out and how the track conditions are going to play. Run them in a straight line on even weights. I think Elfie wins. She's got 60 kilos today, which makes it a little harder for her. Tina Komanyahi has a really good back end of the program in terms of her book of rides. I think if you want to back her in the Jockeys Challenge, a bit like Sam Collett last weekend at Ashburton, maybe leave it a couple of races because her early rides aren't as strong as the late ones. Here she is looming up. Just watch who Diaz wins underneath her here. He looms up like he's going to win the race. The big son of Ifraj, his record at 2,000 metres is very, very good. He's had plenty of racing in recent times, so I think it's a no excuses case for who Diaz wins today. Jason Laking for Tony and Lynn Prendergast. Elfie was very good here. She was only under 56.5 kilos. Things have changed. She's on even weights today with Who Diaz wins. He's a horse that I want to put through multis, Aidan. Who Diaz wins. He was okay at the line there, 2,000 metres, but excuse me, I'm interested to see if the horse is going to be ridden a little handier to the speed today, because we know that he's very good when he settles in the first 3 or 4 in the run and then relaxes. And I think with the rail out today, then that opportunity may be there with not a whole heap of speed in the race. Come fly with me, maybe to press forward, set up the pace, but it's going to be interesting, Aidan. In the early stage of the day, I think we'll have a telling factor about race number 7 on the card. We'll take a look at the strategy before we get you back to Aidan. I'm going to start the strategy away on race number 1 today with a place multi, starting away on ILAV Bubbles. I'm going to press that through into Flying Sardine and Who Diaz wins. The Chosen One, race number 6. Number 3 is the best bet, Vendima, and race number 7, she's the value. You're getting double the price I think that she should be. She's a quality mare from Neil Ridley's base, Terry Mosley, to take the ride aboard her, and I think that she'll follow the speed over the 1,200 and run over top of them and be too good for them there. Over we go to the second page of the strategy today. $20 win multi, Shalla, race number 2, it's around $1.80. And we get that into the Chosen One in the feature today. Race number 2, that is Shella, and runner number 6 in the book on the ticket as well. That is Kenny Ray's 2-year-old filly by Sham Express, Diva Express. Vendima, little each way on it. Jamie in race number 4. Watch this horse. He's got a big motor. The son of highly recommended, and from his barrier draw, expect him to lead and be hard to beat. And Cope Dreamwood up to 1,600 metres in the last 5, a win, 5 a place. Could be a big day for the Cope colours. Aidan Rodley with Savvy Cope, the little wonder mare from Christchurch, taking on the Mare of the World Wings. Looking forward to that. Plenty happening today here at Riccarton Park. We look forward to bringing you all of the coverage.